Was there a moment at which you knew that service was going to be a major aspect of your life, an epiphany?
Right out of college, I got a job at a title company, and I worked there for 2.5 years, and that was a whole
What did
lot.
you do?
I was an escrow assistant, and
Okay,
my
okay.
research titles, and I didn't like it very much. It was okay. I liked the people I worked with and all, but going back to grad
Didn't inspire you?
did not inspire me. And I worked for Delta Airlines briefly, doing reservations, which was equally uninspiring for me. In grad school, I got the only non-teaching assistantship. Everybody else had to teach speech, and I was the publicity director for the theater department. And so I had this role of, we weren't raising money per se, but we did all the direct mail pieces, and I worked with the media, and I liked that role. I liked working with the folks that contributed to the theater, and either with time or money, and I managed all the volunteers who worked in the box office and such. And so it felt like the job I was meant to have, and in fact it's what I've been doing ever since, if you really think about it.
Please summarize briefly the various organizations that you give time and money to, your efforts.
So I'm on the boards of directors, which always involves time and or money, of the Midtown Business Association, Planned Giving Forum of Sacramento, which is a fundraising entity, the ALS Association, CalCASA, which is a statewide coalition of rape crisis centers that does a lot of advocacy work at the Capitol. First Five Commission, Children's Coalition, and I give money to Capitol Public Radio, our local public radio station. Also, there's 2 theater groups in town that I give to, and I'd give a lot more if people would ask. I think that's one of the biggest challenges in our community with fundraising. There are a lot of groups that if they asked me, I'd give them a gift, and they just don't. And I give to my alma mater.
If you knew that you could not fail, if I were able to give you an ironclad 100% guarantee of success on your next project, what would you attempt?
Well, it's already in the planning stages, but I'm not sure we can pull it off. It's to build a shelter to house men in the LGBTQ community and folks with disabilities and anybody for whom a shelter for women and children is not an appropriate place. And nobody's done it before the way I've envisioned it, and I've got the funding to build it. I don't know how we're going to sustain it. So to me, it is out of the box because it's not in alignment with what everybody else is doing in this country, but I think it can make a big difference with victims. Well, and that's part of why we envisioned this project that I'm calling Open House, because I don't like that there is so much judgment around who can or cannot come into a women's shelter and live. There are some people that they just can't cohabitate in a big, huge, institutionalized sort of safe house. So it's envisioned as being smaller apartments and being able to slice and dice the population and best serve people.
Right now, we just recently passed 7 billion human beings on the planet. Let's pretend for a moment that all of them are going to watch this video. What would you say to us?
What would I say to everyone on the planet? I think I would say that each of you are valuable and deserve to be treated with dignity and live in a violence-free home and have respect.
If I could give you any superpower, one that you've heard of, bending steel, x-ray vision, those kinds of things, or one that you make up on the spot, which one would you request from me?
The superpower I would pick, I think it would be to be able to instantly know what a person needs, whether whether it's just a kind word or something more farther pinging on the scale of Maslow. I think I'd like to really be able to know what somebody needs from me in that moment.
Who are your heroes?
My heroes? Well, right now I would pick Tina Fey. She's smart and hilarious.
And cute.
And cute. Gosh, I'm probably going to throw Hillary in there just because I think she's put up with a whole lot of crap and she doesn't deserve it.
And she stayed a lady the whole time.
She just continues to power on.
How can we take people who just have average parents or even subpar parents and help them to become the kind of a servant leader that you are, or Dennis is, or Bob is?
I think people who've had it a little tougher or had parents who weren't always supportive sometimes rise up to be the best leaders. I think it can be paralyzing to have parents that expect too much out of you. I mean, I look at it with my own kids. Am I expecting the world out of this child who's just a child? So I think out of adversity comes resilience and strength for a lot of people, and they're probably tougher and better people than the rest of us.
Thank you so much for meeting with me. You've been very kind and gracious with your time and your energy, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you. Thank you for picking me as part of your project.